Season 1. This is episode 1 of the Your Voice, Your Words, Your Voice podcast. I'm James Hopkins. I'm the host. And on this podcast, we're going to be talking about all types of things. We're going to be talking about church, school, community. We're going to be talking about politics and crime. Today, I have a special guest. He's a young man that I've been out in these streets battling with for years now. And I've been knowing him for about 3 decades. So, with no further ado, I'm going to introduce Mr. Byron Brumfield. He is Mr. Mega Evers Reloaded. Mr. Brumfield.
I like when you say a young man. It make me feel good.
Look, we just as old as we act, but age ain't nothing but a number, right?
It made me feel good because I had time to put the dye in my hair before I came.
Okay.
But anyway, my name is Byron Brumfield, and I'm the founder of Mega Evers Reloaded, a mission and a movement, which is a nonprofit organization. Which our purpose is, we are the voice of the elderly, the senior citizens. We also feed the homeless, and we mentor the youth. And our nonprofit organization, even though I'm the founder of a nonprofit organization, I'm an activist. And the difference between our nonprofit organization and others, we don't talk about it, we be about it.
Okay, when you say you don't talk about it, you be about it. Okay, now, we started Reset Jackson together because before I met you, I did have the Hopkins Foundation. And once we got together, what we tried to do is we tried to change what was going on with a lot of the nonprofit organizations. Is that we had all these organizations over the city, but none of them were really working together. So what we did, we kind of got together and collaborated with all these organizations, and it became, it worked. Basically, it worked real well. So before you got with me as a community organizer, just tell us a little bit about who Byron Brumfield is.
Well, everybody, people know me from different ways. You know what I'm saying? My history basically ain't a mystery. I'm from the streets. Mm-hmm. Everybody know I'm an inactive gang member. Mm-hmm. I'm from Shade Oaks. And, I'm one. The difference from me and what everybody else out there doing, I'm one of the brothers that's on the inside looking out.
On the inside looking out, that's interesting.
Yeah, everybody else be on the outside looking in, and I'm on the inside looking out.
Okay, what do you mean by inside looking out? Because that's a different take, on life.
Because I'm a witness and I'm a victim of society. I'm a witness and I'm a victim of my environment.
Okay.
Which I'm saying, which me be saying that, man, whatever it is that it is to be done out there in the streets, you know what I'm saying, I survive. Mm-hmm. And that what makes me, strong on my mission. That's why I call it a mission and a movement.
Okay.
One reason because, like I just told you, everything it is, I did it and got away with it until this day. Mm-hmm. And so that was like the Lord kept giving me chances.
Okay.
And so that what made me, I feel like, I was working for the devil for all them years, then the Lord started giving me changes, so I wanted to work for him.
That's all right.
And that's how everything started popping, and that's what made me the way that I am, and I move differently. Mm-hmm. And the name of the organization is called Mega Evers Reloaded, a mission and a movement. Mm-hmm. And the one reason I called it Mega Evers Reloaded, a mission and a movement is because it's the 2020 version. It started last year, 2024 version of Mega Evers. Mm-hmm. And we do exactly what he did. We use unity, love, and peace.
Okay.
I did my study up on him and everything. You know what I'm saying? Cause I realized I was, you gotta know your purpose here on earth.
That's right.
And so after everything I wanted to do in my life, I done it. So I had to realize it was time to do what I was supposed to do. My purpose.
Okay.
It was time so I called it Mega Evers Reloaded, a mission and a movement.
Okay.
And let's take this back. You ever watch horror movies? You remember Jason?
Man, everybody remember Jason Voorhees.
So you remember Jason back in the day when he first came out? He had the sack on his head.
Right.
He wasn't strong.
Right.
And then he came out a little stronger.
Right.
Okay then, but when Jason Reloaded and Jason X through the years got strong, which I don't hate to use a horror movie as this theory, but it's reloaded because it's a stronger version.
Right.
The reloaded version.
Right.
but we use unity, love, and peace, and we move in different ways. And which I say that, man. And one reason I say it's gonna take unity, love, and peace to move, because he did it back in the '60s,
Right.
and it worked then. And when I said it worked then, they was putting them German shepherds on us. They was spraying us down with hoses.
But most people, and I'm one of those people, I believe that we were more united when we were segregated. And I've heard that, from so many different people. Do you believe the fact that we've been fooled into thinking that we have everything is one of the main reasons why it's so hard for communities, and black communities mostly, to come together? And I'm going to give you an example. You hear the phrase a lot, I'm an independent black woman. But I've never heard someone say, I'm an independent Asian woman, or I'm a strong independent Mexican woman, because they're not the ones who have been fooled and bamboozled into thinking that the family structure is not what works. They've given us Section 8 welfare, and blacks aren't the only one get it though. But they give you child support, they give you TANF, they give you all this stuff, but they tell you that if there's a man in the house, you can't get any of this. So what that's been doing is it's been destroying the family structure. And for some reason, people who are living on their own with all of these benefits and without a man in the house, they use this phrase so loosely, I'm a strong, independent black woman, but I challenge somebody to show me where any other race is bragging about being alone.
Man, I'm so glad you said that, man. You done took me to another level, but I can't answer that question. Life is set up, man. A lot of women, when you scream you independent woman, I mean, you might got the game figured out, but you got life messed up. And which I say that all the way down, if you scream, I'm an independent man. That's not how the world was set up. The world, because you own yourself.
Right.
Including me.
Right.
We both can't do this, pay them bills by ourselves.
Right. And even not just the bills, it's just the support, the emotional support of it.
You can't do it by yourself.
When Adam was lonely in the garden, that's why Eve was created. So we were created for each other, regardless of what we think or how we feel about it. And I don't even know what led me to this conversation.
That's a good question, though.
I think about how the generations we have changed.
Yeah.
When you talk about Jason, how he adjusted and got stronger and stronger. It seems like each generation, instead of getting stronger and more cohesive, they're being farther and farther separated. And I know the fact that they're not. I'm not gonna. I don't have the numbers in front of me, so I don't want to sit up here and just throw numbers out and make up numbers. But I do know that statistically, black families where there's a mother and father in the household is way less than it was back when there was civil rights, riding, when people were fighting to be equal, just to be able to ride at the front of the bus, which is something that, most of us, a lot of young people today will never even ride a bus, and because they're driving at age 15. And
you bringing up a valid point, because, man, just like you're saying, man, what people don't understand, back to what I'm saying, all you got to do is find you a wife, just like everybody, Asian woman do. White woman do, purple, African woman, booyaka, booyaka, just like they do find them a husband. You find that right person, you marry them, you raise your kids and take them to church, you get up and go to work every day, y'all pray together, go to the table and eat together, go to church, go to your children's football game, basketball games, tutor them at home. That's how life is set up to be. You have less problems.
So why do you think it's so hard for us? And I was looking, while we were sitting here waiting, a good friend, mine and yours too, you know who I'm talking about. There's this gas station on Highway 80. I was looking on the news, and there was a shooting at this gas station. Now, she's been fighting like crazy to get this thing shut down. We've gone out there, and my question is, at what point do we stop allowing not just businesses, but just people in general to continue to tear down a community, without the community finally stepping up and saying, look, I live here and I'm not safe?
They go back to your first question. that you said earlier, man, that me and you started. I don't know if you figured it out and spread it right by now. Me started about two years ago, going on 3 years ago.
About 3 years ago.
We started the word unity.
Yep.
And after we started unity and showing everybody unity, and then now everybody else hear unity.
Mm-hmm.
I heard Foot say unity. I heard Horn say unity. Hardly everybody is saying unity because they see that's what it's going to take.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let us back up again.
Mm-hmm.
Down to Councilman Stokes, he was doing his thing by himself right at 1st.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody, oh, Councilman Stokes, Big Mouth Stokes, ain't nobody studying him.
Mm-hmm.
Now, all of a sudden, with people behind him and in numbers, you see people applauding him. He getting more done with unity. Action speaks louder than words, no matter. And it's not about him because you got Big Mouth Byron standing next to him too. You got James Hopkins. You got other people you don't like, but you're missing the point when you try to judge the people that's doing. Worry about the job that we doing, and we get it done. And that's the main thing. No matter who doing it or what we saying, at the end of the day, we got a lot did like that with unity.
With unity.
Stokes couldn't get it done by himself. Hopkins can't get it done by himself. And I can't get it done by myself. But when we all come together and get something, and back to what you saying, man, we got to keep bringing awareness to things like this. We got to keep, like, okay, then, they about to gas up, guns down thing. You know what I'm saying? Remember that?
I remember
they
that.
should have stayed on that.
Mm-hmm.
They just shouldn't just throw that out there.
So let's be clear about who is they. Do you have like a specific organization or a person? Because when we're saying they, if we have the truth about it, let's make sure we say the truth about it.
That's a trick.
Tell me who is they.
That's a trick question. But since you want me to answer it, I put that on the last administration.
Okay.
The last administration.
Okay.
I do it like that. That was the last administration doing, because I don't know who made that call.
Okay.
About whoever made that up. But it was brought up that they was cleaning all these gas stations up, hitting these gas stations, what they probably was for about 4 or 5 days.
Right.
But now you seeing people partying on the side of the gas station, sleeping on the side of the gas station, braiding hair, prostituting, smoking dope, selling dope, shooting dope. You know, got a tent out there, washing car, everything back to normal.
Okay.
Do you see this?
Yeah.
I might be making this up.
I
might be lying.
I actually we did a back to school giveaway today we were at Christian Brotherhood today. And the same gas station that we had been, clowning so hard about, that actually made them come up with guns up. What it was? Guns down, prayers up.
Gas up, guns
gas
down.
up, guns down.
That's what it was.
Yeah, that same gas station that pushed all this stuff to the forefront is right back like it was.
And
like you said, they had people up there. They had one pump. He had his little tent hanging from that pump, so I'm assuming he pays bills there. Somebody had a tent hanging from that one.
I got a question for you.
Let me finish.
Go ahead.
So I think I think what we have to do is we just have to continue to be who we are. And again, you said there is a new administration, in place, and he spoke about unity. Mayor Horn, congratulations to him. He spoke about unity, which the Chapel Ridge situation. Councilman Hartley, he came out. Fabian Nelson came out. And we're talking about, just the politicians. You called a big meeting and everybody showed up. So they got that cleaned up. But the key is, how do we get these people? Well, the question is, how do we get the leaders, the people who have the resources, who have the finances, to be a part of what we're doing? Because we're out here hustling and working, boots to the ground to make things happen. But they're the ones who really have the power to do it and the resources to do it. What can we do differently that we haven't been doing to kind of get them involved, somebody other than just Councilman Stokes and Fabian?
What we're going to have to do, we're going to have to come together first. We're going to have to go back to our nonprofit organizations coming together. And which I say coming together, I'm not saying James Hopkins, hey man, I need you on a Friday. Can you come over here? And it just be a Wednesday.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We're going to have to come together, planning it out. We're going to have to come together, and we once we show them together, we come together, they're going to be saying like, hey man, they out there doing something. Let's see what we can do for them. And then after we come together and do things, we're gonna have to stay together.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? We gonna and which it's not gonna be, oh, I'll come together and unite as non-profits to come together and do some major events.
Right.
Which all the book bag, like all the book bag gives away, we should have got the fairgrounds downtown.
We should have.
Non-profit fairground downtown, or found some kind of space somewhere, and everybody came together and gave it out with JPD, firemen, everybody. We got to find ways of developing a different network with each other. You know what I'm saying? And that's the only way people gonna respect it. If not, we going in circles doing the same thing with the same people.
Can I drop a truth bomb right quick?
Go ahead.
We're going to always have a truth bomb on this show. Here's my truth bomb from what I learned. JPS does a lot of good work, you know, as far as working with organizations when we're all working together, when they have an event. And they do a great job of inviting other organizations to be a part of JPD events. Where they lack is, and I'm not sure, you know, how that falls down the pecking order, but there's a problem. They lack in being a part of the community's events. They'll invite the community to their events, and they're great events, you know, great events. But when there are community events, it's hard to get them to come out and be a part of community planned events. So what that beckons me to ask is the event only important if it's your event? Or are you really trying to help fix the community? Because if so, then community planned events have to be just as important as city planned events. And that's an issue that I've always had with them. But again, you know, under Chief Wade's leadership, they have been real active in the community. So I haven't really knocked them much on that, you know, because again, they have been active in the community. But I would love to see them come out to more community planned events, and not just events, you know, planned by Councilman Stokes or planned by the mayor or planned by JPD, because we're always out there, you know, and law enforcement is always welcome, because they have to see that unity, not just from us, but they have to see unity all the way up the table. A child has to see unity with the siblings. They have to see unity with the mother and the dad. They have to see unity with the parents and the teachers. They have to see unity with the parents and the preachers. In order for them to understand that this is what life is about, everybody has to be seen. And right now what we're doing, which we've gone back to doing, and I talked about it on the last show, all of the organizations are doing separate events. And I'm one of them. I'm guilty. I've been a part of 3 of them since Saturday. 3 giveaways since Saturday. Have another one that I'm going to be a part of. Well, I'm going to go out and support it. You know, that's going to be this weekend. But what I'm hoping for is to have one big one before school starts back, or maybe the first week after school, where all of these organizations, and I'm calling out to y'all, come on, be a part of this. I ran for mayor, and there were 20 people sitting on that panel. I'm going to reach out to them, because they said they were going to do a lot for this city if they won. But it shouldn't be based on just if you won. You know, come on out. If you care about the city, whether you're mayor or not. I'm not the mayor. It's not going to stop me from doing what I do. And speaking of that, the new mayor he's only been in office, I think, 2 or 3 weeks. What do you think about, you know, some of the decisions so far?
I gotta ask you a question in a minute.
Okay.
I gotta ask you a question about that while you asking me a question.
Oh Lord.
But I'm gonna answer your question. The first question you asked, what like you said earlier, man, it's gonna take people to get back on their business, and it's gonna take us to come to. But what they messing up at when they had these events, all these people, you don't invite everybody. You just invite your people. I'm gonna sum it up to what you were saying. You invite your people, the people you want to come.
Right.
If you got a kids events, a big kids events, you need to get out here, get them children in that police van, that police bus, whatever they ride in for the children, the YMCA police bus.
Right.
And you need to get them out passing flyers in the neighborhood. You need to get them out there passing flyers to these churches, to these business owners. Get everybody involved if you're serious about mixed up people coming.
Right.
You got to move differently.
Okay.
That way, you got the children involved and you got the community involved.
Right.
You done killed 2 birds with 1 stone.
You're right.
And they networking with JPD. 3 things going on at one time.
One time.
You got to think like that.
Okay.
Oh, you just can't say, I announced it on the news. I did this, I did that. You know what I'm saying? Because children ain't going to mind. You get them a bunch of flyers. Hey, we finna hit this neighborhood. Y'all got a big event. Y'all got a talent show or whatever. We gonna all come out to that. We gonna get everybody out there, or they gonna tell somebody, and you get on it.
Yeah.
And that's the main thing. Now, and now to answer your second question, it go back to unity, man. And like me and you talked about earlier, all these nonprofit organizations, we gonna have to come together. We going in circles every year, just doing the same thing. And a lot of people just be like, oh, Byron don't come to this, Byron don't do this and I do that. What you got to understand, when you say nonprofit organization, you are an organization. That means it's levels. You got to go through your organization to make decisions, proper preparation so you have poor performance. You just can't say, oh, yeah. So like you tell me, hey, Byron, we're going to do this Saturday. I can't say, all right, then.
Right.
I got to go have a meeting with our organization. We plan it out and see what y'all do. That means you get in trouble. You going to come to my house one night. I need you, Byron. I'm going to get the gun. Come on, let's go. Not knowing what's going on.
Right. That makes sense.
I'm going to bring all my guns with me.
Right.
Nah, we going to go talk about it. We going to hook it up, and we going to do it right, plan it out. Not no 3 days, but 3 weeks.
3 weeks, okay.
And we going to get more people involved. And that more time we had to promote it with you promoting it and us promoting it.
Okay.
So when people think, oh, I don't mess around, or I don't get out like this, I don't get out like that. It's not like that. I want to do it like it's supposed to be done. Now, that third question you asked me, but I'm going to help anybody if I can, and I don't mind helping nobody, and we going to come, because that's what we all about, bringing people together. No matter what the situation, who you are. And when I'm out here, it ain't if I like you, I love you.
Right.
I might not like you, I love you still.
Right.
And I'm going to mess with you, because I'm going to need you. I'm going to need everybody, every different personality, whether you strong, whether whatever, you got some kind of way you can help the movement of what you're doing, no matter how you feel about me or you feel about what we doing, you can help us. I promise you can.
That's
now,
right.
I got to give you that question that you asked me.
Okay, before you ask me my question, if anyone watching wants to chime in, have a question or a comment, you can call the station at 1-800-492-5186. That's 1-800-492-5186, and we'll be happy to take your calls or your comments. Go ahead, B.
You ran for mayor, man. You didn't tell the whole story. Tell people who told you to run for mayor.
We talked about running for mayor.
who asked you?
I
found this nigga here frying chicken. I found you frying chicken. Hey man, you need to run for mayor.
Look, my goal wasn't to run for mayor. All I want to do is change the city.
Man.
You know.
What you did.
But it happened, you know.
Hey,
it happened,
let you know.
and I had a great time doing it.
You said you could be it. You pursued, you could do it, but you wasn't in the politics. You was a nonprofit activist.
I'm not a politician.
All right, now back to my question. If you did win the mayor candidate, what would you did the first 2 weeks right now differently than what Mayor Horn doing the first 2 weeks on the ground?
Oh.
Cause he looking for that money. But go ahead.
You're a tough guy.
He looking for that money though right now.
Yeah, I would definitely try to reel money in for the city. But I think one of the main things I would have done differently is, again, we had great candidates in this election. I think my administration would look a lot different from his, because there were definitely people on that stage that ran for that seat that should have spots in his administration.
Yeah, he might not be through now.
Look, I was just about to say, now I'm not sure if he's done or not, you know, but I definitely there's no way I would run a 4-year administration, and there are 5 solid people that I know, you know, would have been in my administration. So again, it's only 2 weeks. He still has positions to fill and whatnot. But I think that's probably the only thing different I would have done. And I also would have had some kind of huge event. And that's because I'm a nonprofit organizer. I definitely would have had some type of huge event, you know, with the nonprofits. But we would be on business, though. I love one thing he did do, though. He did do that where he went to all department heads. And according to my sources, a majority of them didn't even know their budget. And it's hard to run a bank if you don't know how much money you had to lend. And I'm gonna just leave that at that. I'm not gonna get too deep into the politics, but I definitely would have put more people from the campaign in my administration.
And I'm not a politician into politics, so I can say this: me being a citizen with voting rights, still not a convicted felon. Let me note that. And I would have hired you from the eyes through the neighborhood and other nonprofit organization. I most definitely would. I would hire Socrates.
Definitely would have had
the businessman, the business connections. He respected and connected out here in the world, not just in the city, but in the world. You know what I'm saying? I also would hire David Archie. David Archie would have been my spokesman.
So you have a list of what you would have done already.
You can use David Archie. I need somebody. Hey, Dave, you go talk. I don't want to talk to you. Okay, I'm going to come. Guess what, guys? Hold on, I got to shave my mustache. You know what I'm saying? I would have hired David Archie quick, man. You know what I mean? And I would have hired Zach Service. Zach Service would have been the bloodhound, baby. If I want to know anything on anybody, big shouts out to Zach Service. I love him. Zach Service would be my right-hand man.
Okay.
That would be my right-hand man. No, I don't know who the mayor right-hand people is right now, what he got going on in his administration, because I don't focus on that.
Right.
But you got, please, Mr. Mayor, somebody, John Horn, these people I just named, man, you got to add them. Kenny Stokes, he already next to you, but it's certain people, man, you got to, and I also, too, Mr. Horn, I had nothing against the mayor administration because there was some loyal people to him. So if they was loyal to him, Mr. Horn, if you treat them right up, you might not treat them, I don't know what went on. But they got knowledge of everything that you need to know already that they can pass down. So I wouldn't give up on them and X them out, because you only gonna do what your boss tell you to do. Because that's who pay your bills. And but hopefully he can build a relationship with some employees and can use them too.
Okay. Well, look, we're gonna take a quick commercial break, and when we get back, I'm gonna ask you a question that I spoke to you about early in the week. All right.
Advertise on WeBelieve.global, a brand new digital media platform. Share your brand with our audience on our many global live stream TV broadcasts and over the radio. For more info, WeBelieve.global or call 800-492-5186, option 1.
Have you had your Earth Blend coffee today? At Earth Blend Coffee, we take pride in offering you the very best of beans across the world, blended and roasted to perfection, giving you superior quality and satisfying and flavorful taste. Experience the world in one cup with Earth Blend Coffee.
To order, visit earthblendcoffee.co now.
All right, we're back. This is Your Words, Your Voice with James Hopkins, and my guest today is Mr. Byron Brumfield. He's the founder of Medgar Evers Reloaded, a mission and a movement. So I want to ask you a question about something we spoke about earlier. You like to use this phrase, deprogram, in order to reprogram. Kind of expand on what do you mean when you talk about deprogramming people and reprogramming them?
Well, I learned that word from Carol O'Connor, she's an artist. She got a nonprofit organization, so she be around in Jackson. Big shouts out to Carol O'Connor, Rhyme and Reasons. Y'all look her up. She taught me that. And which I say that, they already a product of the environment and society, so you got to, when people program, that includes us. You program with what you used to all the time. So when you see something new, you're scared of change. With change, it be good. So some kind of way, in order to put something else in people's lives and put their heart in their heart, you got to take the bad stuff off their mind. You got to get through people's mind in order to get to their heart, because you got to understand the mind at the top of the head, the heart right there.
That's right. That's right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what we messing up at. So some kind of way, we got to get the children, other people involved in certain situations, in certain places, where we can get them in there and let them know what they're up against in life and what's going on, and then program them. Get them in other ways and program them, because people don't believe in people no more.
Right. Yeah. That's
trust
the biggest
people no
thing.
more.
That's the biggest thing.
And people scared of people.
Don't have faith in people anymore.
People really scared of each other. I'm scared of you. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be around you. You might say something wrong. James said this about me. I ain't calling James no more.
Right.
Which everybody talk about everybody.
Right.
You know? But we got to deprogram our people no matter what. We still got to, if you don't like that person, still love them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because we all need each other, man, and we don't realize that, man. And I tell everybody, love spreads just like hatred. So when I say deprogram people, first you got to feel the love up in their mind that you can't somebody love you first.
Right.
And then it got to flow to their heart. Then that's when you got to program that you can love people too. And in order for somebody to love somebody, they got to feel love too. Mm-hmm. It's got to go from you to them to go through somebody else.
So what about people who shut the love off, though, because of that same fear that you just spoke of? They're afraid, okay, well, I opened up before and this happened. Now, here comes this person. Yeah, they doing all this and all that, but they only going to do the same thing the last person did. And I know it sounds like relationship-wise, but it's just period in life. Same thing with jobs. Somebody, hey, I got this great job for you. Then you leave the one you have and go to another one, and then you get over there and get treated worse than you was at first. So now you're afraid to step out on faith, because when you stepped out on faith before, you almost drowned.
Yeah.
So what about the people you're trying to show this community love to, that, oh, you know, that ain't gonna work, you wasting your time? How do you deal with people like that?
Well, you got to move differently, and you can't give up on them. And which I say that, like,
so you move differently depending on the individual and depending on the situation.
That's right.
You don't have just one playbook for everybody. You don't run the same play every
right.
day. Okay. Hint. You can't run the same play every day.
Right. It don't work. It don't work on everybody.
Okay.
Just like, all right.
That's a truth bomb.
All the way down to your spouse. If you over here texting your spouse, you done messed up, and you done text your spouse, and that ain't working, and you done called her, that ain't working, write a letter in the mailbox and send it to the mail. You sending me letters now?
Right.
All the way down to your child. If you whoop him, that ain't working.
Right.
Or if you don't whoop him, that ain't working.
Right. You got to change it up.
You got to change something up how you do. All the way to the nonprofits, how we move. Us doing different things together, we got to do some things together. And then we'll see changes.
Right.
On the way see change, you're going to make change. It's like Voltron or
Transformers.
When you put them big pieces together, you build an army.
Right.
And you can get a lot done, man. And let me back this up. When you see people on TV you see people on TV, oh, come over here. Somebody need to come pick this trash up over here. Ain't nobody coming.
Right.
You see Stokes on TV. Look at this trash over here. Oh, my God. Big Stokes hat on. Ain't nobody coming. Okay. Now, you see James Hopkins, Byron Brumfield, a church lady on TV, another person on TV with some children right there. Come pick that trash up. The next day, they bring in bulldozers. Before the week over with, they coming. That's unity, and it works. We done proven that over and over in different ways, in different scenarios.
It works. All you have to do is be consistent. Because I remember when I first started, before I got with you, and I was doing the Hopkins Foundation, I did a lot of stuff with Better Men Society and Chris Cooper. Shout out to Chris Cooper. We did a lot of marches. And always you say, oh, that ain't going to work. Oh, people don't want to see that. That ain't going to work. But it has to work.
It was 20 or 30 of them.
It doesn't work for the people who don't want it to work.
That's right.
But we found out once all these organizations started getting together, oh, it works.
It works.
When you get enough of the right people,
and
we went down to City Hall,
it works.
And we let them have it in City Hall the same way we let them have it out on the streets. And change came about.
Let me say this. All the way down to City Council. All them years they was out there arguing about stuff and doing this and that. They wasted time them years. We don't want to do this. We don't want to do that. And all this. Imagine if they wasted time passing stuff together. All them years, bro. Yeah. We would not be in a lot of situations that we in.
Yeah. I think a lot of that comes back to a word that you mentioned. The word you said was loyalty. Sometimes people can have blind loyalty. You know, you so loyal to somebody, you'll walk off a cliff behind them. And that's where we go wrong in leadership. I'm going to be loyal to you. I'm going to support you, but I'm not going to walk off a cliff because you walking off a cliff. But we have people who are willing to do that, and we've seen that in the previous Trump administration where all these people went to jail because they had this blind loyalty.
And they know
we
right
have
from wrong.
Blind loyalty in Jackson where people just going to follow you, they're going to lie for you, and they'll do whatever it takes as long as it's not turning against this person that they're loyal against. I'm not going to even be loyal to my child if they're doing wrong.
You ain't gonna hide the gun.
No, sir. No, sir. We're not hiding no gun. We're going to take that gun down and right with him. But we're going to take a night video, turn around, make sure you ain't got no scratches, no bruises, or any of that before we turn you in. But guess what? You're going to jail. Mm-hmm. But we just don't have enough of that.
You ain't going to send them out of town.
People think that, by hiding their child and doing all this, just like I said, 15-year-old just got killed up the street from that same gas station that we were talking about over here.
We were fighting
in
for
North
years.
Jackson. We were fighting again. Now, I'm not saying it happened at the gas station, even that they were affiliated with it. But the point is, it's the same thing. There's nothing that's changed about that area. And when we tried to change it, we were overstepped by city government, and they came up with their own thing, so we don't have to go back out there anymore. And they called it, what they call that thing again?
Gas up, gun down.
Gas up, guns down, where they were going to go in these gas stations 5 times a day, and they were going to sign off, and there was going to be heavy police presence, and we didn't have to be out there trying to shut the gas stations down.
They out there partying that.
But again, you only do what you're told to do when it's concerning your job. But loyalty is a great thing, but blind loyalty is foolish.
Oh, I got something to ask you.
Yes, sir.
And I ain't even mean to ask you this, man.
And
okay,
we're gonna get to your 1,000-man march after this.
We got the curfew passed back in the day, right?
We did.
But now they want the ski mask passed, right? Mm-hmm. But they didn't ever enforce the curfew, did it?
I don't think that curfew ever got enforced.
Well, how they gonna enforce the ski mask?
Listen, the curfew made it all the way to national news that we got to pass. But I don't think it's been enforced.
Well, how they gonna pass the ski mask? Enforce the ski mask?
This is what has to happen. Business owners have to step up. We can go out there and we can protest for these businesses to be safer. We can go to City Hall and we can fight for these businesses to be safer. But they have to put these signs: no hoodie, no ski mask,
no loitering,
no loitering. And then they have to back these rules. But if you're allowing everybody to come in that's going to spend a dime, that's going to buy a loose cigarette, which is illegal, that's going to be 16 or 17 buying alcohol, which is illegal, if you're going to allow all that to make $1, then it's not going to help the other stores that are trying to do the right thing. So I'm all for going back to City Hall and let's pass this no ski mask rule.
And then that's why when something go on at these stores, they don't want to see you to see the cameras and stuff because you're going to catch them selling loose cigarettes and stuff.
I worked at a store, and I'm not going to say the name of that store. They're not even there anymore. But they were selling loose cigarettes. And I said, man, y'all selling loose cigarettes? But there was an incident that happened up there. And they told the police, oh, cameras no work. Cameras no work.
Right.
Because they're afraid of what was going to be found on those cameras.
Right.
Now, granted, I wasn't doing what I do now, but I did know it was wrong.
Yeah.
One
of them get shot, they going to have cameras.
And it happened, and the cameras worked.
The cameras going to work. One of them get shot.
But let's move on to the next subject. We talk. You talked to me about a 1,000-man march that's supposed to be coming up. Tell This is anybody
Right.
that wants to be involved in it. Now, who sent you that information?
That's Kamikaze.
Kamikaze. Big shout out to Kamikaze for putting this 1,000-man march together. Look, we're going to have to get you on the show before September the 8th, Kamikaze, so you can tell us more about what's going on with this march. And speaking of coming to the show, my slots are filling up. So if you want to be a part of this show, you can message me at Hopkins James, or you can contact me at Reset Jackson and be a part of this show. This is anybody's show. You don't have to be a politician. You don't have to be a community organizer. You don't even have to be a businessman. You can be a student. You can be somebody that's just got out of work and needs something to talk about. If you want to be on this show, this is a people's show. Let me know, and we're going to get you on here. If all my guest slots are full, I had you on as a guest co-host. But we're going to make this happen. And also, if anybody wants a show on this network, it's We Believe Digital Podcast, and it's run by Mr. Socrates Garrett. You can contact Socrates Enterprises to get more information on how to get your own podcast. Again, that's Socrates Garrett Enterprises, in order to find out how to get your own podcast. So back to us. Do you have any events coming up in the near future?
I focus on one thing at a time. That's the only thing that March we got going on right now in September. Mm-hmm. And that's about all that I got going on right now. But I'm available, like I said, I'm available to deal with any nonprofit. And I also do different things, man. People come from out of town. They come down to Meg Edwards' house. I speak to them. About 2 weeks ago, I spoke to a bunch of Caucasian senior citizens, retired senior citizens, about 80 of them, man. Mm-hmm. They love me, man. I also go down to the rehabs with one of my homeboys, speaking to the, all the retired addicts or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Retired drug dealer mess with retired addicts, man. I'm talking about it's a beautiful thing.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
So you do more than just give stuff out in the community.
Yeah,
you have to go around and...
I'm not no community activist, and I'm not no civil rights activist. I'm an activist.
Okay.
And I'm a passionate activist. And I'm active all day, every day. You know, I work at night so I can get out here all day when people call me to do what I do. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I don't talk about it, I be about it. A lot of people say, hey man, why you get out here and do this? Why you got? If I didn't do this, my life would be boring. Mm-hmm. I'm not in the streets no more. I'm getting old, and I know my calling. You know what I'm saying? I know what I'm here for, and I know what I can do in people's lives, and I know I can make a difference in people's lives, and I'm seeing it. And the main thing, I know I can bring people together, and it's working. It's working. The young, the old, people from out of everywhere, no matter who you from, man. Since I've been out here, I have brought people together, mm-hmm. and now it's up at levels now. Now it's levels to the elected officials coming together now, mm-hmm. and they screaming their unity. And that's where in life, to everybody out there who watching, you got to graduate from a boss to a king. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? You got to be a king. You got to graduate. And people holler about Byron, you be on the news, you be doing this, you be doing that. Oh, you might be cloud chasing. You know, I hear all the whistle, but I ignore it because I ain't got time. I don't give them attention. No, I'm not. Mm-hmm. I'm not cloud chasing and not doing nothing. I'm building my legacy.
Building your legacy. Look, and we heard that a lot. Oh, y'all just always want to be on the news and this and that. And that's fine. That doesn't move me because, again, people have to see that there are people out there. What we do in the communities we do it, everybody's not going to see that. But when we can get that help, the same way we're on the news showing positivity, nobody's complaining when they showing about all these people, are getting killed or stealing and stuff like that. Nobody's saying, yeah, why the news showing that? They want to see that. They want to glorify stuff. They want to glorify all these fights where people are getting jumped, that kids are recording and people get jumped. So if you're going to glorify that, then glorify the work of God that's being done out here in this city.
Well said.
And don't speak against it. If you have a problem with it, change your channel. That's what I say. And yes, I'm going to always contact the media when I'm doing something because they need to know that there's still something positive going on in the city of Jackson. Right. They need to know that James Hopkins is still out here doing the fight. And like he said, look, my legacy is being built also. And I'm also inviting anybody that wants to be a part of changing their legacy to come out and be a part of what we do. We don't turn you around if you're serious about what you're doing. This is about changing who we are, not for us, but for the future generations.
That's right.
You know, because a generation ahead of us somewhere has been lost, because the young people we have now, I don't know what's wrong with them. You know, the young people now, I think you have parents who are close to the same age as the children. They party together, and not to knock them, because maybe they just didn't have what they needed. Because again, you think about in the 90s, a lot of the fathers were incarcerated, massively incarcerated, you know, because of drug crimes such as marijuana, which they shouldn't have been, you know, given the type of years, and crack that they were given. So we lost a lot of fathers in the household. Mm-hmm. But we still can't always use our past experience as a reason to keep being the people that we are.
That's right.
Because as you get older, you're supposed to get wiser. You're supposed to give up your childish ways according to the Bible now. Now, the Bible may lie. That's what you want to say. But the Bible says you give up your childish ways. So as you get older, you're supposed to want to do better. And for those who don't want to do better, you know, we have to pray for them and just keep moving and work with the people who won't change in this city and in their communities and in their houses. Because what we do takes a lot of work, and I don't think people understand it.
And I'm glad
it takes a lot of work to do what we do.
You said pray for people, because people got to understand out there now. Please start praying for people, because a lot of people ain't got people praying for them no more. Mm-hmm. And that means a lot. When you say you praying for somebody, mean that. Put these people in your prayers, because prayers mean a lot.
Definitely mean a lot. That's the softest I ever heard you speak. Say it again.
Prayers mean a lot, man. Because imagine if everybody, and that goes back to unity. If everybody praying for somebody, that means a lot. If we feed off each other in strength, our energy. If 10 people call you every morning and tell you good morning, that's a good feeling.
It is.
If don't nobody call you and tell you nothing, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, birthday, man. I just don't
no happy birthday. Yeah, man. And you got to start doing that, man, all the way down to people you know every day. Start reaching out to them. Be real. Hey, man, I just called you to tell you I love you, and hang up in their face.
No, don't hang up in their face.
They going to make their day. Not you hanging up in their face. They going to feel some kind of way. Oh, man, these people told me they love me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Different things, and that's what you're here for, to spread love. Or you can spread hatred. You can call Pam. Pam, I hate Gina. I want to go over here and choke her and do this to her. And then, you know, it spread.
It does.
Love spread just like hatred. A lot of people just ain't spreading love.
It does. Hey, look, I want to give a special shout out to somebody that I saw on the feed earlier, Rodney Dupriest. I met Rodney probably 3 years ago. I want to say it was about 3 years ago. We had a march put together by Better Men Society out here in South Jackson.
And let me say back to them, let me cut you off.
Let me finish. It's going to be short.
Yeah.
Rodney came out, and I actually first met him at a teen summit I had. You know, he came in the teen summit, and look, he stood out. He was a piece of salt in a pepper shaker, and he stood out. And when I talked to him, he was just so genuine, and I loved it. But I saw him at the march we had. He showed up, he stayed, he came out, he prayed. And throughout the years, he and I have kept in touch, you know. And he's one of those people that after the election, he didn't go away. You had some people who went away after the election. You know, they said, I want to run this city, I want to make this city great. And as soon as the election was over and they didn't win, they went away. So I just want to say big ups to Rodney Dupriest. Go ahead, my brother.
You want me to call the names of people who ain't? Nah, I ain't gonna do that.
Look, we'll be here for it. No, don't call no name. We're not gonna bash anybody.
I ain't want to cut you out with the Rodney Dupriest, but let me talk about him too, cause you can't bash him. I can't.
No, don't bash him.
I ain't gonna bash him today. Okay. I'm gonna say that for nigga, my show, nigga. I see so much.
Okay, yeah, don't bash him.
Rodney Dupriest, yeah, I seen him in the park. He was out there campaigning. He got out there before and after. I salute to that too. Yeah. But that ain't what I mean to cut you off about. What was on my mind. Better Men Society. Big shouts out to them. And when I meant to say that earlier, the reason Robert Davis, Chris, and everybody got so much done back in there, they came in numbers. It was about 30 or 40 of them. When Robert Davis, rest in peace, bro, when he was here doing that thing, he kept it with numbers, and they got everything they did they want to do. He was also example that you can get a lot of stuff did if you come together in numbers, especially in the Vernon Dixon community.
Right. Come together and be consistent.
But what's his name, that dude you talking about earlier? Yeah, man, he got out there. I didn't know who he was before the election, but I know who he is now.
You talking about the priest?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I knew him before.
So big shouts out to him.
I knew him through church events.
Big shouts
That's how I
out to
knew
him.
what kind of person he was.
Yeah.
You know, so, and I was...
When I seen him in Wood Street Park,
Yeah. And he's not afraid to come.
Yeah.
To the places that a lot of people won't come. You know,
Right.
and I hear a lot of people, but I want to see some receipts.
Yeah.
What have you done? Where have you been?
You sound like Zach.
What I go by. What have you done? Where have you been?
Right.
If you don't have any receipts, come on work with us and let's get some receipts going.
And we learned that before you started running for mayor. Remember
Way
we learned that
way-
outside before you learned what you
before
gonna
mayor.
do before you run for mayor and what you gonna do after you run for mayor.
After you run for mayor.
Where you was before and where you was after.
So we're getting ready to wind it down today. I want to thank everybody.
One more
tuned
time,
into
big
the
shouts
show.
out to Kamikaze.
Hey, go do all your shouts right quick.
About that 1,000, the march we got going on. And like I said, man, eventually, I got you. Just holler at me. I can't give you no money or nothing, but if you need me for anything, any project, anybody, just holler at me. It ain't no problem.
All right. So before we get out, I just want to let you all know, keep tuning in. We're still getting the feel of this, but we're going to have some good people on this season 1. So again, the slots are filling in. We're going to have Fabian Nelson, who's a state representative. We're going to have Yemi Kings on here, who's a sitting Hinds County judge. We're going to have Zach Service on here, who everybody knows Zach he's out there in the community. We're going to have James Hopkins, who is this guy, James Hopkins. A lot of people don't know the work that this guy does in this city. He was responsible for getting that Chapel Ridge debacle clean. There was another thing going on right off Monticello Street in South Jackson. He cleaned all of this. Let me tell you how much he charged the city when he does all this work. $0. $0 that he charges the city. But he goes in and man, he'll turn a junk pile into a garden. And he works hard and he does it for free. So we need to find out how we can get this guy a part of the city. Because these are the type of people we need. I know you got loyal people who were loyal to you through the campaign and this and that. Okay, the campaign is over. It's time to be real about fixing the city. James Hopkins removal, he's going to be here. We haven't set a date for him, but he's going to be here. And I just want you to talk about the kind of stuff that he does for this city that nobody knows. When you go ride through a lot of places in this city, and you be like, oh, they cleaned that up. No, they didn't clean that up. He cleaned that up. When you ride through stuff, say, oh, I'm glad the city finally got that up. Majority of the time, it's probably him that got it up. So I'm going to give a good praise and a shout out to James Hopkins because this man is awesome. And we're going to bring him on this show, and y'all going to find out just how awesome he is. But we're lining people up again. We're enjoying it. Second week. Still getting a few kinks out, but we're enjoying what we're doing. Again, big ups to Mr. Socrates Garrett for help making this happen. Chantel, I see you watching. Chantel Johnson.
What's up, sis?
Deja, who is my co-host, she wasn't able to be here tonight. I always miss her when she's not
No
around.
love to Chantel.
And we're going to make this happen. Chris Cooper, if you're watching. Zach Service, if you're watching. Malcolm Johnson, if you're watching. Big ups to you too. David Archie, John Horn. And if I miss you, it ain't because I didn't want it. I just forgot about you. But we'll get you next go round. This is James Hopkins signing off with your words, your voice.